Michael Jackson's new movie just shattered every box office record out there. And yet, his own daughter is publicly calling it dishonest. His sister? Complete silence. Something doesn't add up because behind the scenes, there's a whole group of celebrities who are quietly fuming over how well this film is doing. But before we get into all of that, let's talk about the numbers for a moment because they're genuinely hard to believe. People weren't just watching this movie. They were standing up in IMAX theaters, clapping, singing along, fully losing it. That kind of reaction doesn't happen for just any film.
I am so excited for this movie.
Obviously the music, the dancing, but I want to see the story behind it.
I want to see like how big he was at that time.
It's gonna live up to the wait.
The trailer alone pulled in 116.2 million views in just 24 hours, breaking Taylor Swift's trailer record. Critics scored it 38-40% on Rotten Tomatoes. Audiences gave it 96%. That gap tells you everything. Michael Jackson remains one of the most beloved and debated figures in entertainment history. Then in 2019, HBO's Leaving Neverland brought serious abuse allegations back into the spotlight, and many celebrities quietly distanced themselves from his name. Now it's 2026, and a $200 million film titled Michael Just Changed Hollywood History in One Weekend, made by Lionsgate, a smaller studio, with Michael's actual nephew Jafar Jackson playing this lead. $97.2 million domestic, $121.6 million international, $218.8 million globally in a single weekend. Biggest biopic opening ever, beating Oppenheimer's $80 million record, already projected to hit $700 million worldwide. Compare that to Disney's Snow White, $336.5 million spent, $25 million earned worldwide, and a loss of nearly $168.7 million. Michael had a controversial subject, a 38% critic score, and a first-time actor in the lead. It still made more in one weekend than Snow White did in its entire run. You'd expect Michael's family to be front and center celebrating. Most of them weren't even there, starting with Paris Jackson, his own daughter.
Y'all are gonna like the fucking movie, so just go watch it, go enjoy it, do whatever, leave me out of it.
That I wasn't involved at all, aside from like giving feedback on the first draft and then getting the feedback that, yeah, we're not actually going to address your notes at all.
They ignored every single note she gave. So Paris took to Instagram and didn't hold back. She called the film dishonest, said Hollywood lives in its own fantasy, and made it very clear she had no connection to the final product. She skipped both the Berlin and LA premieres, not by coincidence, but by choice.
The film panders to a very specific section of my dad's fandom.
Paris flat out said she values honesty over money, which is a bold statement when the family estate is out there actively promoting the same film.
She hates her dad. She resents him. She wants nothing to do with him. Because I'm not like calling the shots on set, being a big shot producer of a movie that's filled with just inaccuracies. That's not my truth. That's not where I'm coming from. Prefer honesty over like sales and monetary gain.
There's also a separate legal battle brewing. Paris is currently in a dispute with two estate executives over alleged financial mismanagement. They claim she's already received around $65 million in benefits. Either way, the tension behind the scenes goes far deeper than just this movie. Then there's Janet Jackson. She's not in the film, skipped both premieres, turned down an offer to be involved, and has said absolutely nothing publicly. Complete silence.
I have a question that is a please stop asking me that you feel like maybe just comes up a little bit too much.
Ooh, and I don't mean to be rude, but I have to be honest with you. Please stop asking me questions. And I don't mean that because I've never thought that I was I gave a good interview. I really don't like speaking. So I'd rather stay quiet and listen to other people talk. And that's always been me. So I'd rather just be quiet and listen to others.
Reports also surfaced that Janet and Jermaine had a heated argument after a private family screening, but LaToya quickly denied it, saying nothing of the sort happened.
Out there that there was this problem between Jermaine and Janet, or Janet and like, what you tell me what was going on?
There was absolutely no problem whatsoever, none whatsoever, and please believe it.
Now here's where it gets interesting. Coleman Domingo, who plays Joe Jackson in the film, told the Venice Film Festival that Paris was fully supportive of the movie and had been genuinely helpful throughout the process.
You have to approach him with a sense of humanity. I had to go on the interior life of Joe, look what made him, look what, all his ways of being in the world and how he applied that into being a good father and wanting for his family. and wanting for his family's success. And I think that, Joe is from a very different generation as well. And I understood that by even examining my own stepfather. These blue-collar, hard-working men who it was the wife's job to be soft and tender, but the men, by loving, was by having really high bars for the kids to set and for you to, to be a good citizen.
Paris publicly contradicted him almost immediately. So either Coleman had the wrong information or someone wasn't being entirely honest. Either way, it got uncomfortable fast. On the other side, LaToya Jackson did show up to the LA premiere and was asked the obvious question, why was most of the Jackson family missing?
Why don't we see more of the Jacksons, or will we see more of the Jacksons later?
I'm not sure. That's a question for the producers and the filmmaker. However, and the studio, of course. I hope so. I hope so. I think so far it's wonderful, and you've seen it, and I'm sure you loved it as well.
Jackie Jackson was one of the few positive voices. He was openly proud of Jafar's performance and had no problem saying so.
I couldn't believe it. I got so emotional because he became Michael on this.
Randy and Rebby both stayed out of it completely. This family is clearly divided right down the middle. This is the part worth paying close attention to. Back in 2019, Oprah personally hosted HBO's After Neverland special. She sat on stage with Michael's accusers in front of a live audience of abuse survivors and gave a full hour of her platform to that story. She even stated on camera that the moment was bigger than Michael Jackson himself.
It's the reason why I'm here. In 25 years of The Oprah Show, I taped 217 episodes on sexual abuse. I tried and tried and tried to get the message across to people that sexual abuse was not just abuse, it was also sexual seduction. But for me, this moment transcends Michael Jackson. It is much bigger than any one person. This is a moment in time that allows us to see this societal corruption. It's like a scourge on humanity. And it's happening right now. It's happening in families. We know it's happening in churches and in schools and sports teams everywhere. So if it gets you, our audience, to see how it happens, then some good would.
MJ fans pushed back hard on her for it. She knew the backlash was coming and stood her ground anyway. Now fast forward to 2026. The biggest cinematic celebration of a black artist in Hollywood history is happening, and Oprah, a black woman whose entire brand is built around uplifting black voices and stories, has not said a single word. No post, no tweet, nothing. Draw your own conclusions. Then there's Tom Hanks. At the 2020 Golden Globes, host Ricky Gervais made a series of sharp jokes, and the cameras caught Tom Hanks looking visibly uneasy in the audience. That reaction got clipped, shared everywhere, and turned into a meme that lasted for months.
Instead of watching this show, that's a show about a man who wants to kill himself because his wife dies of cancer, and it's still more fun than this, okay? Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself, just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up. I know he's your friend, but I don't care.
Ricky later said on a podcast that Hanks looked like someone who thought the jokes were beneath him. And in 2026, with all this Michael excitement, Hanks has stayed completely silent too. Meanwhile, Stevie Wonder, Magic Johnson, Usher, Raven-Simonet, Martin Lawrence, and Chance the Rapper all showed up to the premiere. Who came and who stayed home says a lot. Ricky Gervais basically saw all of this coming years ago. At the 2020 Golden Globes, his 5th and final time hosting, he delivered one of the most talked about moments in award show history. He stood in front of Hollywood's biggest names and called them out directly for preaching to audiences they've completely lost touch with.
If you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent, and fuck off, okay?
Hollywood wasn't pleased. The internet, however, loved every second of it. Then in February 2026, after Grammy performers once again used the stage for political speeches nobody asked for, Ricky posted a single photo on X, a shot from his 2020 Golden Globes moment. The caption, "They're still not listening." 6 words, nothing else needed. The success of Michael is exactly what Ricky has been pointing at all along. People don't want to be lectured. They don't want a political statement wrapped in a movie ticket. They just want a good story, and when you give them that, they respond. $218 million worth of response. Two groups got embarrassed by this film. First, the critics. A 38% critic score against a 96% audience score. That's not a small difference, that's a complete disconnect. Their reviews didn't stop a single person from buying a ticket. A 56-point gap on a film this big is almost unheard of. Second, the major studios. Lionsgate, not Disney, not Netflix, not Universal, made the biggest biopic in history. A smaller studio respected the audience, told a story people already cared about, and made cinema history. The big studios spent years chasing awards and pushing agendas and got outperformed by a film that simply focused on the story. That's what really stings. Michael proved you don't need a massive budget, critical approval, or a hidden message in every scene. You just need to genuinely care about what you're putting on screen. So, did the Michael biopic deserve that 96% audience score, or do you think the critics had a point? Drop your thoughts below. And if you made it this far, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.